So yes, we have another box. It means we're doing another video apparently. Nope, not a 3D printer, not 3D printed related. Hopefully my microphone's working. You guys get upset about that, jeez. But anyway, so what's in the box? So it's an Amcrest UltraHD 4K POE camera. I've got, as you saw, the Swan surveillance security system set up already. Did a review on it. Working fabulous. But as some of you already know, the 2 megapixel cameras, you can't read a license plate 20 feet away. I mean, you see what's going on, you get the gist of it, but you just can't even read a license plate. You can't zoom in. I mean, it's like a cell phone, poor quality cell phone camera for distance. So I got to looking at some more. Yeah, this one's a little bit more expensive. The other thing is it's POE. That means no power cord, no BS. You can use the power cord, but it will get power directly through the Ethernet if you have a router POE. Would I order such a thing? Yeah, I probably would. Oh, nope, that ain't it. I thought it would show a picture. So I think I did. I ordered the black one just because I think black would be easier to hide than the white one. But otherwise, these two are pretty much the same as far as I know. Viewing angle on the white one is a little smaller because the focal length is 4 millimeters instead of the 2.8. Otherwise, I think they're pretty much the same thing. Not the greatest reviews. 70% gave it 5 stars. But the ones that were bad or negative were kind of user's error from what I read. It wasn't really anything an issue with the camera. It was, like one guy, he bought it. It's a POE. And he couldn't get it to work because he didn't have a POE router or switch. Okay, why are you giving the camera negative feedback? That's your fault. I mean, oh, here's some of the specs. Let's see if I can get my mouse to cooperate. Oh yeah, it has one-way audio, so it's got a microphone on it, so I can hear out there. Don't know how good it is. Uses Starlight technology, and from what I've seen, it's been pretty decent. Here's some of the dimensions. If you wanted the information, should be showing up there for you. Now it is plastic, but it's guaranteed. What is it? A 5-year warranty? I don't remember where I saw it. I think it was on Amcrest website. So it has a 5-year warranty. Oh wait, through Amazon it's a 1-year warranty. Oh, lifetime support for the Amcrest itself. Okay, that's what I saw in there. Pretty decent camera. This is the 4.0. This is the 2.8. Basically the 4.0 zoomed in, but you can zoom in with the 2.8 with the app, whether the app on your phone or the app on the web page or the app on your computer that you install. So I don't know why anyone would get the 4.0 unless they just want to watch, like a garage door or just watch a specific spot. So let's crack this open, see what we got in here. As you can see, I have not opened this yet. I'm only expecting one order today, so it should be this. And bubble pops for the kids. Oh, there's the camera. Shows that it's the black one, so hopefully they did that right. And we got this in here that rattles. And yes, it's a POE switch. And then this is a cat toy. Fold these down. and put the cat toy out. I'll come back to this in a moment. That's not really what this one's about. Oh, looks like it's sealed. I mean, I like the idea that they do that so you know, but maybe put it over here on the side, not over the... not over where the little tab is that you need to open it. Good grief. Got it. All right. So just kind of looking over the box. Those of you who want to see it, I showed you on the website. It's actually a lot better. As we all know, my camera doesn't like me very well. I'm almost focused. Probably should look. There's not a QR code on the outside of this, is there? It does say copyright 2020. Oh, speaking of the cat trap, told you he'd be in it. He doesn't fit, but he will keep trying until he fits. Since we're showing the cat, we should show the puppy. But anyway, back to the camera. Alright, so open it up. Got a quick start guide. Gonna need this. As you've all seen, I've got a different security system setting that works completely different with the BNC connectors and power cable. Oh, I thought it was a CD at first. Apparently it's the template for the base, which is good to include a template. Looks like it's even a sticky. So you can just stick it where you need it. Drill the 4 holes for the screw, the mounting plate. Pretty decent. A warranty from them. No idea, IRC code, SC warnings. Join their community. I don't know why my camera hates me. And the quick start guide. It has the app information. Looking to see. As I was saying, as you noticed, I do not have a POE system. I actually had to buy the POE switch so I could even make this work. It looks like everything in here is basically for that phone app, which is fine. You got some nuts and bolts and screws for mounting it. We've got the waterproof for your Ethernet cable goes through here, and then when it connects, that way you can make it waterproof. Good. Phone. Looks like we got a tool. Looks like it's just a torque bit, 2 different sizes. And then you can kind of see the camera starting to poke out. If I can get into it. And then, whoop, you see it's actually packed fairly well. The only thing is I'm betting that foam is not all the way across the bottom. Oh, I take that back. This one has little feet, so it was protected top and bottom. A lot of times they don't do that, and they do all this packing on top, but then at the bottom, the device or whatever it is just sitting on the bottom and gets damaged. I'm going to put this stuff back in the box for now, so I don't lose it. Set that over there. It looks like give me a quick moment here. Grab some painter's tape. Just because there are people out there basically what I did is I taped up the serial number and the QR code. Because anyone that has that serial number or that QR code can log into your camera. As far as I understand it, because I didn't have a POE camera, didn't have a POE switch, I definitely went to their Amcrest website, went through some things, looked at a couple of other people's reviews on them. Now this is the one thing that the other reviews are wrong. That's metal. I don't have any magnets down here. Oh wait, yes I do. Is it a ferrous metal? Okay, so it's aluminum, but not plastic. That is solid. All right, I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be plastic. And then this goes in the front here. There's a little torque bit in here. You just need to loosen it. You don't need to take it all the way out. And then this should come loose. Well, that makes it adjustable. Before it was pretty snug. It didn't move. But just loosening it, you can move it around, adjust the camera however you need it to be. But we actually need to get that open. The reason we need to get it open is because there is a memory card that this takes. And it is inside the device. A lot of people complain about this. I'm confused. I don't want my memory card to be able to, just have someone walk up and click it and take it. I want it to be buried in here. I don't want anyone to have any access to it. Now it looks like it's 3 Phillips screws. Looks like fitting on the front would be absolutely fine. The lenses are recessed. Let me go grab a Phillips screw driver. Kick the lights up a little bit. Give the camera time to adjust. And grab the old Phillips screwdriver. Actually, before I do that, I believe it's a 128 megabyte card that it can handle. A couple of the other reviewers I saw said out there they were using 256s. I don't honestly know what I have available. So there's a 128. They also recommend at least a 10. That one's an Ultra. And this one is a 64. So we'll probably use that 128. All right, so we got a memory card. Let's get this all apart. And I believe there's only 3 of them. And yes, there is a very specific way to get to the memory card. If it wasn't for the Amcrest website and the how-to videos on YouTube, I would have no clue to even do this. I mean, I suppose I could have read the instructions, but I kind of flipped through the quick start. It showed me how to use the app, but it did not really, oh. Now yes, you could unplug that. That is short. Okay. So before I go further, I'm going to set that there. I want to check my memory card just to make sure it's formatted to FAT32. Take a look at what's on it. I honestly have no idea what that even is. an MP4 file. Give me a moment, I'll be right back. Okay, so I just wanted to check what that was. It was actually from my Swan surveillance system. There was an accident out front. One of my neighbors had their car hit in the middle of the night. We're going to format this card, and we're going to call it Amcrest. Am I pronouncing that right? Amcrest? Amcrest. Sorry, Amcrest. Okay. And make sure I'm on the right card. And start. Yes. That was quick because I really didn't have anything on there. I'd actually already deleted it. And then eject my card. It's all happening on the one you're seeing. So, okay. Now, a lot of you are going to skip through most of this because you've already done this, been there, done that. Absolutely great. This is literally out of the box, start to finish, and using it. Now, one thing in here I do see is they had the opportunity to put, let me get a little closer, to put 4 screws in, but they only put 1 diagonal from each other. It's probably more than enough. Also, hey, you get kind of a look in there. Now you can see that this is aluminum. It does have a rubber seal here. So yeah, it's got the waterproofing. There are some delicate wires in here. Definitely want to be careful. Get first one. I can see where some tweezers would come in handy if you didn't have a magnetic magnetic screwdriver. I would guess that having a magnet near the camera and the memory card probably not a good idea. All right, and then this should lift up. Wow, that's just... But the spot we're wanting to get to is right here. Let's see if I can bring you in a little closer. The parts we're wanting to get to is this. This is the memory card holder. And from what I saw, losing the screws out of the casing is all that was. This should slide up and then out. That is not happening. Oh, slide down and then out. And then there's a little gray, I know my camera's not great, there's a little gray outline of the memory card. It fits in there. Sort of. Like that. And then this slides up, drop it into place, and then slide it up. Yeah, that really didn't lock it in there, did it? Interesting. It's in the little grooves. I mean, it's in the grooves. That's where it goes. that is not being held in there at all. Dropped another screw. I'll get that here in a moment. Am I doing something wrong? You can see that, I think. Get the glare off there. Yeah. I can literally pull the memory card almost out. Ah, okay. See, again, user error. There's a little tab right there that I was missing. There's actually 2 lock spots. But anyway, user error. Didn't realize there's a QR code over here. My camera's not good enough for you guys to pick that one up. It's too small. But this is the camera device. I don't know a lot about the stuff inside here, so we're just not even going to dick around with that. Flip this back up and around. Oh yeah, so this is the camera, and then this down here, that other lens, is the starlight infrared sensors and all that fun stuff. Definitely want to be careful with those wires. That looks good. I'm going to get these black screws in here, then we'll take a look at this. It looks like those silicone baggies that you find in like electronics boxes, you know, like when you're storing it. I don't know if that's just for the shipping or if it's in there so that, well, it's hanging out there on the side of your house, it keeps moisture from getting into the electronics. I'm going to leave it there because actually all the other videos I saw and on the Amcrest site, it's there. I'm going to leave it. If I can get the screw in here, we'll be in business here in a moment. I know my hand's in your way, but it is what it is. You got these little small parts. Just screwing that in. It is, I'm not sure what the screws are made out of, but we are screwing into an aluminum housing. So you don't want to over tighten these by any means. I mean, definitely snug. And then just double check our wiring, make sure nothing's in the way or out of the way where it's not supposed to be. Make sure these all line up. Oh, so that goes right over that part right there. And then it just screws back together. Kind of sort of like that. Just making sure it's lined up. You really don't want to touch those. I do have some microfiber cloths. So there's the microphone. So this is the top, if I understand it right. I'm holding it upside down. Infrared sensor, the starlight sensor infrared. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. How it works, I'm not all that privy to. Setting it up and using it should be pretty straightforward. We're going to be finding that out here very shortly. Get these screws started. And then, yes, I did drop one on the floor. Zip this back around. And again, you're screwing aluminum or into aluminum. That is definitely not right. As you can see, there's a big gap. My guess is you have to line it up a very specific way, which would have been something that would have been nice to indicate, but I didn't see anything like that. It's just a circle cut in half. No arrows, nothing that I saw that indicated this way up or line up here. Make sure there's no wires in between. I don't see any, honestly. Sorry, taking it off camera here for a second so I can get it up closer to me. Is there a lip or a groove? Ah, there is. There's a little groove it needs to fit down into. I'm just holding it snug together while I get these screws in there so it doesn't pop out. But yeah, that little rubber silicone seal between the two halves has to fit down in there. That's what makes the waterproof connection. Closes up that gap. And just going around and snugging these. Again, you're screwing into aluminum, so don't get all carried away with it. Then you'll have a nice indoor camera. Some more fingerprints all over it. Poor thing. All right, base. And that's where that thing comes from. Honestly, what I would probably do, and I just realized as well, this has some Teflon rubbery grips to hold the camera itself, so when you get it where you want it, it stays. But me, I'd probably just put this right up to wherever I'm going to put it, drill my holes, put my screws in, done. Now obviously you need the hole in the middle for the wire, or if you need to, you can come out the side. There's a little cutout for it. But best place is, is if you can go into like a soffit or a wall, wherever you're putting this. And if you do it that way, make sure that this is, kind of toward the bottom. If you don't want water sitting up behind your camera. And then the turret, or the control part. Now, obviously, you want to make sure your wires go through this. And all of you out there yelling at me just realized, no, don't do that. You're right. Wires go through this one. And then getting kind of situated where we want him. This goes over the top to hold everything down. Had some technical difficulties there with this camera. Anyway, having an issue here though. And again, I'm doing this all just live as a person just buying this would do. There we go. And then we'll snug this up. We don't want it tight because we do need to adjust the angles and stuff. I like to throw things on the floor, as you've seen. So we just want this snug. Do you want to be careful? I see back here where the cord is, but if we have the camera up like that, it should be okay. So you can adjust this wherever you might need it. Let's say we're going to go here, and that way the camera can rotate back. So you should be able to get whatever it is you're trying to view. You should be able to angle it fairly easily. Just remember, as far as I understand, the microphone is the top. I don't know if the applications have where you can flip the image. I would expect it to, but I honestly did not see that in anyone else's reviews. Kind of want this to rotate. There we go. And then I'm just trying to get it level because for my testing purposes, it's going to be just looking out a window. There we go. And then I'm not going to get overzealous. I'm just going to make it snug. And nothing moves. And then what will happen on this end, plug your Ethernet Cat 5 or better, Cat 5e preferably, into this. Run that through your house wherever you need to, back to your POE switch. That's it. You're done. Load up the app on your phone. But we're going to set him off to the side for a moment. We're going to take a look at that POE switch. Don't lose your tools. Now this is not from Amcrest. I needed one to go with the camera because I myself do not use POE devices. If this works as well as I expect it to, it's going to change. I'm going to be switching everything over to probably the Amcrest, I did it again, Amcrest camera systems. Now that's not saying that my current systems that I have I'm going to discontinue, because this will just cover a different area. So let's see what's all in here. So we got the quick start guide. And again, this has nothing to do with the camera review itself per se, other than I need this to set it up. Looks like it comes in a couple of different languages. Pretty much from what I understand, you plug it in, plug your network in, plug your devices in. Oh, yeah, that's it. Plug it in. Don't get any simpler than that, I suppose. Here's the power cord. Looks like it's just a regular, 3-prong computer one. So if you're in another country, or if you lose it, or whatever the case may be, you got it. These are the brackets, so if you need to mount it to a floor or a rack system or what have you. Now I did get the 8-port. So one of these somewhere. One of these is the network in. I'm not exactly sure, or if it even matters. Most of them it doesn't even matter. But one of these will be the network in. Unless I'm completely missing something. That means I would only have 7 ports. But it does work 110 to 240 volts. So if you're in another country and you use 240 volts, just switch out the plug if they didn't send the right one. I'm sure they would. Well, anyway, you plug your network into one of these, and then the other ones would provide power and internet to devices such as your camera. Let's take a quick look at the because on the diagram it shows my router just plugs into, looks like number 6. I'm assuming it just doesn't matter. Don't plug it in or power it on while you're connecting. Connect one end of your cable to the switch and the other end to your corresponding device. The little pink light will come on saying whether it's got power. It'll remain off if it's not a powered device, like your computer, for example, or a printer. Yeah, I guess it's a 7-port. Yeah, because one of these 8 is for your Ethernet in, and then you have 7 available, which will still work for me, because I actually got this to expand my current one. My current one's only 6 with 1, so 7. So this is the same thing I got with POE. Let's go ahead and open the baggie, now that I know it's going to work for what I want. They're proud of this thing, aren't they? Jeez. And it looks like there's a light over each one. Now in here, it'd be hard to see, there's a little diagram way on the back of that. I mean, unless you're sitting in a light, no one's ever going to see that. My camera was not picking it up. But anyway, there's a little diagram back there that looks like a phone. This is the only one that has it. And then your power plugs in back here. Plenty of cooling vents on the sides. Looks like it could also be mounted to the wall that way. But what these do, these little brackets, you can screw them in here, 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 you know, however you need to. So if you need to mount it up to the ceiling or to the ground or to the front, you know, you can put these brackets however you need them to be. So at this point, I'm going to have to pause. I'm going to have to go set all this stuff up. Now again, like I said, I'm going to set the camera in a window for now, just to make sure I get all my settings and everything, make sure it works, does what it's supposed to, before I go climbing up on the ladder on the side of the house and drilling holes into my house and mounting it permanently as I plan. Right now I'm just going to set everything up and make sure it works. That's all I'm going to do for now. When I get it all plugged in, we'll come back up and hopefully we'll be looking at the monitor up there that is now going bananas. They don't like to look at themselves in the camera. But we'll take a look at the program on the phone and on the web page. Should be pretty straightforward and simple, but never say that till you're done. Okay, so we have it set up. We have the power cord coming in. We have an Ethernet cable plugged into the back cord of the camera. And then that plugs into the front of the switch. And then the filthy internet cable plugged in over there. Pink light says it's on. Underneath I'm seeing a green light. I don't see the pink light, so I guess it would be over here. Well, they all turned green. I purposely hit the reset button. Well, let's go see what we see. Well, I was able to get the app and everything to load up and install fairly easy. I turn my brightness down. So yeah, I was able to connect. That is the camera sitting upstairs outside the window, as you saw how I had it set up. This is the app on my phone. Apparently I don't know how to use it other than how to turn the microphone on. Should be able to hear my cat up there. Oh, actually, that microphone is upstairs. You can hear me. It can hear me. Okay, that microphone's really sensitive. Let's turn that off. But as far as these other buttons, I've tried to zoom in. I get nothing. I can't zoom in. I can't do anything. It just is what it is. Adding it was very simple. Just went to Device Manager, Add Device. In my case, I was able to search device, and it just brought it up. I did also try to add via this, and then your camera comes up and you just scan the code. But mine actually added it very easily. How do you feel about the Amcrest View? Well, at the moment, I don't know anything about it, so I'm not going to answer their review just yet. Can always leave feedback by tapping OK. But it does definitely have the fisheye effect, as you can see. Now I know in the settings on the computer app, you can adjust all this. That's why I'm not doing anything too much on this. Let's get out of here. Oy vey. All right, so I'm going to have to install that software. Let me see if I can show you. Where did I put it? POE cameras. There they are. Oh, I guess you can't see any of that. Okay. So, and here's the instructions, sort of. Now, from what I understand from watching a few other views, here's a configure IP tool to find it and set it up. And then there's the Pro setup version. And then there's the Surveillance Pro setup that has to be installed on top of this. I'm going to have to go through and find this part out. But for now, I think I'm just going to do the basic one. Actually, no. Let's read the instructions. So, Surveillance Pro operator. Ask you some questions, set up a username and password, getting into it, getting your IP addresses, name it front door, back door. Not that you can see any of that. Let's start that all over. It's really bad having 10 different monitors. All right, move that up so you can see it. All right, so this is what I was saying. Instructions, terms and conditions, how you're installing it, was it successful, setting up a password, setting up your IP, adding cameras or devices, naming them, setting it up, how to use it and navigate through it. Okay, so if you need to get the IP address, we're past that. Hard drives. I'm actually looking for the settings like what I was seeing on a couple other people's reviews. Oh, they tell you how to install Blue Iris, I guess. But I thought there was a spot in here where you can control, I shouldn't say thought, I know there is. See here you can see that fisheye effect, see how that's curved? I mean, here it's not bad, but you can definitely see that curve even on their app. or their instructions. Firefox plugin, the apps. This is the web page one. Maybe this is the one I was wanting. No, that all looked the same to me. But somewhere in there is a setting where you can do the infrared, the IR, all the adjustments. I'm going to have to find that, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and just pause this for now, because I'm going to have to find that information, and I'll be back. Okay, so using their instructions, I installed the configure tool that's in their download sections. It can be clicked from their web page. So as you got to log in, this is not quite what I got, but we'll come back to that. What I did get is how to access the web UI from Google in this particular case. Found my camera, log in. So I got these settings. So you can see here, log in via Google. That is not what I wanted. Log in, I guess, is what I needed to click. I keep getting... Now log in. Okay. There we go. And as you can see, it's the same thing you saw on my cell phone with the app. It's this nice big curve, big fisheye. Color mode, let's try bright. Okay, so these were working for me, and then soft, and then standard. And then obviously you can adjust the brightness, the contrast, the hue, the saturation, BLC mode. Give it in a second. I believe it was the WLDR that oh, that is really bright. Or off. Day night mode. Let's just switch to night mode. Hey, look, that door is a different color. I happen to know that door has been replaced. But anyway, back to color. Let's just go auto. So really not a lot on this. Now this is just, I tried going into the easy focus, and I get this window, and nothing happens. It says minimize the focal length for where we're going to set it. Click the sample button and then adjust it. I'm assuming when you saw inside there the camera, you can probably rotate that. I'm not sure, but nothing ever happens. It stays black. It goes nowhere. So anyway, we'll stop that. Get out of that. I don't know, save temp. I don't know what it's doing. Return? What's return? Oh, it takes you back out here. So yeah, definitely my camera showed up. Oh, you can see my IP address. Doesn't matter, that one's going to change. But you want to exit? Yes. Okay, so that's the configuration tool. Let's go ahead and set up the Surveillance Pro, and I'll be back. Okay, so that was actually pretty easy. It just searched it, found it. Here's the same view, same fisheye. We can turn the record on, take a snapshot, turn the audio on. And that microphone upstairs can hear me downstairs. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's really... now, in this particular camera, there's no move. Let me zoom in. And these controls, I think, are for a different type camera. Mouse simulator? Yeah, can't move anything with this. But anyway, it is what it is. Oh, you can turn that microphone off. Getting a lot of feedback. And then this is where you... Oh, so this is what it recorded. I think. Need to find a way to set the time in there, obviously. Apparently that was what was recorded. Oh, instant replay. Then we can zoom in. I wonder if we can get that pickup over there. So we can zoom in quite a bit. Can we do that again and go up here? Whoa. So that's like this part back here that you see the mouse on, that white, that's a garage. That's over a block away. So I guess I just have one zoom in. I can't adjust. What I was wanting was this license plate. I don't think they have one, but you can't read the make and model of the vehicle. I think that says Yukon there, or Suburban. Oh wait, no, this is the Suburban. So you can't read that. Actually, with it not moving, it looks like it's zooming in. It's focusing, or trying. Now do keep in mind, this is also going through a glass window that's got 2 panes of tempered glass. Then through a screen, that's that black hash marks you're kind of seeing. It's going through a screen, and then through another plate of glass. So maybe when mounted outside, that might be pretty awesome. Let's check out the street sign. Can we read a street sign? It looks like it would probably focus, honestly, if it wasn't going through all that glass and stuff. Like I said, I have this set up in the house. Like this license plate. I am not blurring that. I think it's just the window. Oh, a vehicle went by. I missed him. I did not mean to close it. Let's try that again. But yeah, so that's the only controls I have here. I know there's a way you can remove this stuff. And I do believe that is this other app, the Pro Setup. We use the configuration tool to find the camera that's set up. This is what we're looking at now, is the Pro Setup. Not seeing any controls to fix the fisheye. And I know that was on the other one. Homepage? Oh yeah, so you can do live view, play view, alarm, video wall, data report, your logs, your settings, device configuration. Okay, yeah. Ooh, Internet Explorer. And there's no motor in this one. There's no pan and tilt, and there's no adjustments for that. This is non-motorized. All right, so back to live view. And obviously you could have 4 of them, or however many you want to set up. Let's just set it to 1. There we go. Go full screen. Do we have any better controls? Nope, same ones. Just got a bigger picture. I gotta admit, even going through the glass, going through the screen, like I said, the image is, well, compared to my other ones, it's freaking awesome. And I think the reason it can't focus on this is because there's too much stuff in between it and that. But this brown blur is a telephone pole. get out of that. As you can see, it's this telephone pole with a light on it. Other than the little bit of fisheye that I can see, and we're right up against the window frame. Oh yeah, so here you can see it. You know, there's 2 panes of thermal glass and then the screen. So that's what we're looking through. Normally you would have this set up outside. This has got some pretty good, I'm very impressed. Compared to my other cameras, considering this one's also a third of the price of my entire video surveillance system otherwise, it better be good. But let's get out of here now. Close, are you sure? Yes. Let's go ahead and do the Pro setup. And then I'll be back and see what that looks like. Okay, so after a little bit of searching, I found these controls, which is what I was looking for. I went into setup. Now yes, we're using the web version. We're on camera, day and night mode, WB mode. I don't even know what that is. You can set your exposure, the infrared light. But this is definitely what I was looking for, especially like the night version, the infrared light. So right now it's on smart. You can go to manual or off. We're going to leave it as is for now. Not going to mess with any of that. I think it actually looks good. Other than that little bit of fisheye, I'm not seeing that control in here. Let's go into configuration. Reset defaults. Say I didn't change anything. Go into the video. I also want to turn off the watermark. There's the settings. I just want it to be blank. I don't want a watermark. Okay, turn that off. Refresh rate, bit rate, frame intervals every 30 seconds. All of that looks like where I'd want it to be. Go to audio. Honestly don't know enough here to mess with it, so I'm not going to. Event settings, video detection. Audio, so if it hears something, it'll turn on. I'm going to have mine recording all the time though, so yeah, I'm going to have it record and then just, how do I say it? It's going to record over itself till the memory card's full and then just start over. Here you can set the destination. I have it to the SD card. And what else? System, general. There is a place in here that I specifically saw to turn off Now this bitrate says 15. Let's kick the resolution up. Nope, that's as high as it goes. Oh, that's the substream. Never mind. Mainstream. There we go. I was going to say it's supposed to be 4K, and there it is. Okay. Frame rate max window is 15. So perfectly fine with this. Oh, interval frames is 30. We're just going to leave it. We're not going to change any of that. Snapshot, snapshot, overlays. This is what, if you have your vehicle out there and you don't want to show its license plate, if you're going to stream it, you can definitely cover it. We don't want to do that. Privacy masks, I guess that's what you call it. There's what I was looking for. We can move that around, but I really want to just turn that off. time. I want that on there, definitely. Oh, I see. And disable from here. I think I got it. So we turned off that IPC title. So let's say we wanted to call this street. And then we want to move it over here to the center and save. These are the settings I was looking for. Oh, that's a pain in the butt. Now let's go back to playback. Sorry, live. I know my audio is off. Close that. All right, so the watermark here is gone. The Amcrest, we labeled this one the street. Kind of centered it, but it's off a bit. Interesting. I left the date and time because I want that on there. And then if I had more cameras, this is the substream. It's actually the same one. It's just at a lower quality, as you saw. And then substream 2, I don't have another camera, so it's going to sit there and spin, I'm sure. Let's go back to the main one. It's telling me the audio's not on. I turned it off. You see there, it's got a little X on it. But I did not find anything to adjust the... And this took me a little bit to find. So here's where you get the mask, channel title. Oh, I do want to turn that off, actually. Logo, nothing against them. I just don't want to see it. You know, I know what I have. Save failed. I think you have to have a title. I think you have to have a channel. We'll just leave it blank. Refresh. What's going on here? Operation succeeded. So I don't think you can disable the channel title. Oh, no. It let me that time. And that's audio. Path. My browser's download folder. Actually, rather it's saved to the memory card that's on there, but that's fine. Let's go back to live. Now we got the day of the week we added in there. Got rid of the street. You see somebody running, jogging with their puppy. And that's gone. I'm going to have to fiddle with the fisheye. I think it only happens when you're up close. Because if you're looking out, let's say, down the street here, this one does not let me zoom in. Let's minimize that one. Let's go to this one. This one will let me zoom in. This is the app on the device. Or, sorry, installed on my computer. Fisheye is actually not an issue. And then again, a block away, I can see somebody getting out of their car and going in their house. And obviously we saw that car, vehicle. Yeah, this one is much, much better. I think once it's outside and we get it set correctly where we want it, this will be fabulous compared to my others. Much higher quality video. It's also a much higher quality camera, so keep that in mind. You can't compare apples and oranges. My other cameras are not even on the level of this. Obviously that's a Ford F-150 and you can't quite read that label. But again, I think it's the glass and the screen in the way. Yeah, I'm just kind of going over a lot here that I don't need. Oh, you can use the mouse scroll wheel to zoom in and out. That's nice. What the mailbox? Yeah, see? And I think it's the screen. You can see the screen here, the mesh. But this, the frame of the window, I think it's just because we're so close. I think once we set this up outside, we'll see a huge difference. The other thing, and I know I'm stuck in a window. Let's zoom in a little. Oh, here's another vehicle with a turquoise hood and another one. That's actually pretty freaking cool. Here we can see a person. Now my other system, you can't really, that's actually what it looks like from outside. They're all fuzzed out. And I don't know what they're doing, but I think once we get out of the window, we'll be able to read that license plate. We'll be able to see him or her. Can't actually tell. Getting into a vehicle. My other ones couldn't do this. Could actually see him in the mirror. That was pretty cool. So like for instance, like I said earlier, my neighbors had an accident. Someone just did a hit and run. I did not actually have a camera pointing in their direction to see any of it. I could just see the headlights because it was at night. But they have a camera system that's compared to my other one. And quality was just, you couldn't see this much. You can kind of see the street sign. I'm impressed. I really am. Now going from, yeah, we want to close. And again, that's using the Amcrest Surveillance Pro setup. I didn't really see a big difference. The only real difference I saw was the web-based version. This one, you can view it from anywhere. I'm actually going to bookmark that. Camera, call it live view. Sounds good to me. Jump back over here. I don't have anything else. Side note, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Yonli, the 8 ports power switch, POE power switch, working great, obviously, as you just saw. But back to the camera itself, I think it was fabulous. I got no complaints of any kind. Even if I wanted to, I really don't have any other than, I'm actually trying to get this up to where you can see, there we go. So you can see this is what I ordered. And I guess it does show 8, but other than the little bit of fisheye up close, I really got nothing to complain about. The POE port switch, you know, I did get the big one, the 1000 megabytes, 120 watts. Like I said, I plan on adding quite a few cameras to this system. I got no issues. It works out of the box. And I knew nothing about it. I did not honestly read the instructions. I just went off the couple YouTube videos I saw, plug and play, plugged it in, and well, here we are. Now, obviously, if you take a few minutes and you set things up, which I'm going to do now, this camera by Amcrest and your POE works fabulous. 280 answered questions. That might be where I got a lot of the information. Haven't had a chance to use it up at night. But yeah, we're going to go mount this up outside now since obviously it's working and does what I want. Almost all the I don't want to say negative reviews, but let's say non-5-star reviews. Almost all of them that I saw were because the user didn't really know what they were doing. And yes, there were a couple that, the device just didn't work. It's just like when you go to the store and you buy a gallon of milk, you get home, and it's sour. It shouldn't happen, but occasionally life happens. Return it. They got a great return policy. It's Amazon. And, just return it, get it replaced, no big deal. So I've only used this, I don't even know how long this has been, maybe an hour? So I'm going to go actually get it set up on the house, get all the settings set the way I want, see how it goes, and test it out for a week. Well, I shouldn't say a week. I'm going to probably leave it. I'm already impressed. Unless something drastic happens, I'm going to be buying a couple more cameras, I think. I'm actually rather impressed. I really am. So at this point, good job, Amcrest. I don't say that very often, but here's the white version I was talking about. It had a smaller viewing angle. Not sure why. Maybe it zooms in a little better. I think that's, it's just zoomed in, but I can do that with the 2.8. Unless it zooms in better. If you got a smaller area like a garage door like this and you're just watching one, spot. The only thing I might say is the microphone. Hopefully there's some adjustment on it. I think it's a little sensitive. It's a damn good microphone. Like I said, mine's upstairs and you could hear me down here and it's kind of creating some feedback. I was like, oh, that's why I had to turn that audio off so that it didn't do that. And then back to the live view. See, now the live view, it just is what it is. There's no real adjustments or anything. I mean, I can take pictures if I wanted to. Let's see if I can get to... Oh, you can't see that. So it's running in the background because it's recording to my hard drive on my computer. But I can't just open it. Let's see if I can do it from here. PC NVR. Yeah, I know it's running. I want to access it. Surveillance Pro. And I went to my other window. Move them over here. Go to live view. It would be nice though if it could pick up my other cameras, but it doesn't. And then from here you got the controls to zoom in. Yes, I'm fiddling. I am just impressed with this. I'm sorry. All right, let's get out of here. I think I'm going to actually go ahead and post this up, and then I will do a follow-up in a week. Somewhere in here is a picture of the device. There it is. But you saw the website. I got the 2.8 working out of the box with no real knowledge perfectly. Thank you.